I would now like to introduce Mailani Veney, who is the CEO of Kana Systems. I believe she's here today with one of the coding engineers that we've been working with, Tan Phan. We've been working with Kana Systems for some time now on an exciting project that is going to enable our partners to simplify and elevate the proposal writing process, perhaps not just for us, but for others. And then also a secondary goal, long-term goal is to secure leverage dollars outside the network using some other network partners. This is a new and exciting initiative, leveraging these outside funding streams. And we thought that this meeting would be a wonderful opportunity to highlight Mailani and her team and bring a little bit of aloha spirit to our afternoon. So I will now turn things over to Mailani for a brief overview of her organization.
Aloha, everyone. My name is Mailani. I'm just recently back from Hawaii, actually, just a few hours. I was just there. But I wanted to share with you Aloha Spirit. It's actually law in Hawaii, if you want to Google that. And Aloha Spirit has a lot of different components to it, but at its heart, it's helping others to flourish. So we'll go ahead and start with some slides. I'm the founder and CEO of Kana Systems in 2019. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I was running another tech company, and I was actually recruited by the Department of Defense to help with modernizing nuclear weapons technology, based out here at Offutt Air Force Base in Nebraska. So we started that project. We brought over dual use technology. We were awarded a SBIR direct to phase 2. We won 3 subsequent phase 3s just from that one. And then we've built with others mostly in the nuclear weapons domain, technology domain. And then in 2025, we actually were awarded a congressionally funded contract that is being managed through the Department of the Air Force's Digital Transformation Office there in Dayton, supported by both the House Armed Services Committee and the Senate Armed Services Committee, to expand the impact of the technology that we have developed across the Department of Defense. So back in 2019, the problem we were solving was helping to automate the Can I Fight Tonight dashboard. Imagine multiple people every 2 weeks having to pull together information from around the globe, put it into a big spreadsheet, put it into a PowerPoint, send that up. And by the time all that information is disseminated for decision, it's out of date. So it was trusted all the way through the system, but it's too slow and it was not meeting the needs. So the tools that we have developed are around solving that problem for decision making and automation of operations. If you want to go to the next slide, with me is Tan Phan. He is our Vice President of Product. You'll hear from him in just a minute. So really happy to say, of the $9.7 million that we were awarded after there were different fees going to different DoD organizations, we are able to take that money and do multiple use cases with it. And we have a very strict set of criteria as far as what a use case looks like. So we bring to a DoD organization, we bring contract, we bring money, we bring a proven, trusted tool. We've actually deployed our tools to at the TS level and it's right now on a DoD approved network as well. So we bring all of that, and we really bring the Aloha spirit. We truly care. I'm a grand brat, a spouse. My husband served 30 years. So when the DoD recruited me, this is my chance to serve, and 2 of my 3 children actually work in my company as well. So we really truly care about the warfighter and making sure that they can flourish in their jobs. Everybody wants to be empowered at their work. And I actually put that on the first slide, listening to the doctor before me, to help invent the future. So with that, just wanted to hand it over to Tan. And nothing says technology like actually a demo. So really excited. Stacy, Liz, Eric, our AFRL friends. This is new to you, but we have a big surprise. So we're going to show you a little mini demo in addition to Tan talking about what we're doing for AFRL and our country writ large. Aloha, everybody.
Thank you, Mailani. I first want to talk about the problem that we're addressing. After taking time to speak with Stacy and Eric, we realized that there was a massive problem, not just in AFRL, but also across the DoD, and specifically with proposal evaluation. And the root issue of this problem is that one, it's multidisciplinary. So there needs to be program managers, there needs to be SMEs to evaluate these proposals, but you all are limited in your bandwidth. And so not only that, but the sheer amount of volume of proposals that are coming in are quite large. And so for these evaluators to be 100% when analyzing or evaluating these proposals is just not realistic. In addition, these proposals before they get submitted oftentimes can be improved. Sometimes they are redundant, meaning there's already prior art, so there's an opportunity to collaborate or the work has already been done. Maybe the description of what they're proposing isn't as descriptive, or maybe there's not a path toward commercialization, or maybe they aren't considering some of the partners that they can work with. And so this all creates a really long and inefficient process for both proposers and evaluators. And so what we're seeking to address, and this is written out, the use case objective is to improve the quality and efficiency of the proposal evaluation process. And not only increase the efficiency for the evaluators, but also allow proposers to feel more confident when they submit that they've done all the work that they can to make sure that they have a strong proposal. And once again, that involves, having path to commercialization, being able to be potentially dual use, and other factors that we also consider. And so by doing this, we're able to accelerate the process and leverage some of the latest and greatest technologies to do so. And we also accomplish this through a partnership with Microsoft Greenhouse. And so for those of you that are unfamiliar, Microsoft's Greenhouse is essentially like an AI lab where they partner with DoD organizations to build real solutions that go to production. And we're collaborating with Microsoft's architects as well as our experts in AI and software engineering to build out this solution. Our Greenhouse session actually starts off next week where we build for an entire week. But we've decided to get a head start and build for a couple of days. And so I'll show you what we've accomplished within 3 days and where we're going next. And so I'll quickly stop sharing and share my other tab. So here this has been done in three days. Essentially what we're building here is a platform that allows proposers to get feedback for their proposals based off of the rubrics that we've created. And how we create these rubrics is really just meeting with Stacy, Eric, other evaluators to truly understand what is their thought process when going through these proposals. And so we can mimic this within AI. And so here we've built a proposer view. In this view, a user can upload text from their document or proposal to see how they do against the rubric that we've laid out. This gets processed through our AI algorithm. Once they feel confident, they can go ahead and browse and find their document and upload it. That gets processed in our backend, and that allows the evaluator to see the results, which is on the next page. But I'm just going to go ahead and demo some of what we've drafted up to test. Here we have a proposal for training dragons for intergalactic missile delivery. So very realistic, but we'll take this text here and we'll paste it in. And this algorithm will then take about 30 seconds to run. And basically what this is doing in the background is it's taking this entire proposal, taking the rubrics that we've created, and basically reasoning on this document to output scores, output recommendations on how this really fits. And so we'll wait here for it to run. And the next step for this next week is really to just make this more conversational rather than input and output. And so this just finished. We get this JSON object back. Another thing that we'll do is make this more user-friendly, but what this first details out is some of the collaboration entities. And so we know it's very important to ensure that there's teams or other organizations that the researcher might work with. And so here, the algorithms identified AFRL, Lockheed Martin, MIT, and classified them. We have some keywords that this algorithm has extracted to ensure that they are looking to partner with other organizations. And so these are some of the entities or strings that were extracted. We also see that it has information on some of the depth impact. And if this is, if this has an opportunity to go beyond funding. And so this is some of the feedback that this has given. Now, once the user, now we'll also make this more robust and more descriptive. This is just literally only one rubric that we're running against. But after that, they can submit. And then on the evaluator side, what they'll end up seeing is they'll end up seeing the PDF that was submitted and the evaluation result. And so on this page, we're actually testing out a more robust rubric. And so here we have information about basically some of the transition needs that were identified, some of the timelines that were identified within this proposal. So it says that there might be potential delays and that it might not be very feasible within the 6 months. We also have information about commercialization. It also talks about key weaknesses, and it gives a summary. Basically, it has strong transition potential with clear planning, could benefit from further elaboration, talks about some of the entities again, and then you can scroll down and there's a bunch of information that we essentially can glean. And we want to make this, for the proposer, eventually more conversational, where they can essentially chat with a coach or an agent to get all the feedback that they need to feel confident to submit. And yeah, I forgot to mention, but this also shows the score for the proposer evaluator. And so this is essentially just supposed to be an AI agent that allows the evaluator to, focus on the most important proposals and the best proposals. So that was a lot. I'll have room for questions at the end, but I'll pass it to Mailani to conclude.
Hey, thanks, Tan. And I did want to mention that I know he said this took 3 days. It took 10 years of building the foundational the foundational technology that was used on the commercial side, and then we transferred it over, and everything that you see there, that foundation is built with and exclusively for the DoD. So my team does work fast, but this is 3 days on top of others. But just wanted to show you the impact. And for those of you that are with DoD organizations, we are allowed between 3 and 10 use cases. AFRL was the very first use case that we chose and we approved. And then on the DoD side, they approved as well. So super excited. I actually just met with the Senate Majority Leader and one of the main senators on the Senate Armed Forces Committee to talk about our results so far. They're very encouraged by this. So this is the type of work that they want to be seeing that congressional money is going towards. So if you have a DoD use case and would like to talk to us, we'll have our information on the next slide. And here's how we can help. And for those of you that are business or academia, we absolutely are looking for partners. In Hawaii, there's a thing called Hukila where we fish together instead of fishing by ourselves. Literally something I did as a little girl growing up. And it is such an amazing process. And we are only better when we can do that with others. So collaboration, Aloha Spirit is really about purposeful collaboration. So we can help with decision advantage, operational efficiencies, and automation. And what we've built on is we've built around data, AI, ML, those types of technology solutions. So next slide, here's how to get a hold of us. I'm Mailani, and I am the one that is out there with the Aloha, but the people who actually get the magic done, Tan Phan, who you just heard from, and then I have a team of veterans and non-veterans and just some really cool people. Additionally, if you are looking for opportunities, we are also hiring. So with that, if there are any questions.
So fantastic. I love seeing this use of natural language processing and stuff, especially kind of shining a light on process in particular. The toil is conveniently highlighted as a absolute morale killer. We're getting a lot of these tools now emerging, and so I see it as an ecosystem of tools. And do you have a strategy for how you're going to integrate and play nice with things like ACBOT, which is our acquisition tool that's being adopted on the Air Force side, or some of these larger ones? So can you just comment on kind of how you plan to do that, either strategically or with a specific tool?
Yes, absolutely. So I know malls, physical malls are on the decline, but I'm envisioning a virtual mall where the federal space, you can go in, you can say, this is what I'm looking for, and it will direct you to a series of stores or combinations of stores that can help you. So then you, as the DoD buyer, can say, okay, what's already been done? Who's already doing this? Who has the most potential to help me with something to invent the future, like the doctor was just talking about? So I actually had a comment that was pretty interesting. Well, why should we buy this if we already have something else? I said, because we're American and we have choices, and that's what freedom is we have options. So we are not positioning this as a sole tool. We are positioning this as a tool that can help in the proposal evaluation process because we've done this in other areas. But as far as being a sole source, completely goes against what we do here and what we're looking for. For you as the government buyer, it should be a lot easier. I'm not at liberty to say, but we're on the verge of another really large contract in this very same vein, with partnering with another organization, because this is such a need. You have small staffs, a lot of volunteer people trying to do these evaluations that are extraordinarily technical. But in other instances, there might be a better tool or a better set of tools to answer those questions.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
And if I could just add, what I really love about this is not just the evaluation criteria, but what Tan and his team have done along with Eric Lamb is really make the interaction between the proposer and the software really special in that it helps the proposer grow their proposal. All of these proposals have different types of criteria and needs and special niche things. What we see is everybody forgets about commercialization, or because it's different. And so the interaction between the proposer and the software is where we're really excited. And Eric is piping up. Let's see what he says.
Yeah, hi. Thanks to Mailani and Tan. You guys are amazing to work with, and so any other DoD people out there listening, definitely make sure to contact them and see what they can help you with. But what I wanted to say was that the idea isn't that we're going to try to make one big giant that solves everyone's problems. It's a and just like Mailani said, it's kind of a bespoke thing, but they can kind of talk together and become agents. And that's kind of what I envision, is that just like Stacy and I work together, and Kana Systems has a team together. We have all these agents that kind of participate and decide and work together. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. But one of the other things I wanted to emphasize is that this isn't just about helping you write, or about us evaluating proposals. It's about helping you write a proposal. We're, as part of the network, we're trying to make it easier for you to engage with the government. And this is one of our ways of reaching out to the community and saying, hey, this is how you work with government. Let's make it easier for you. But that's really all I wanted to say. And again, I really appreciate Kana's hard work. They're amazing. Just last week, I was saying, I don't know what to tell you because I'm not used to working this fast. So again, good job, Kana.
Hey, thank you. And for those of you who are with companies, we feel your pain. While we've been very fortunate to win multiple SBIR awards in addition to other contracts, we also have gotten the dreaded selected not funded. And we're like, what the heck? We spent so long. We thought we really nailed it. We had 7 letters of support. We have memorandum of understanding, and we still didn't get funded. So on the customer side, I think the government's missing out on some really cool technology, and we don't know why we're missing the mark, and we don't know how to get better. So when they came to us with this use case, that's why they were pretty much a shoo-in, is like the Aloha spirit is there all around. Thanks for listening to our story, everybody. And again, AFRL Midwest, yeah, we just can't say enough good things about you. You are a force for good in our community. Aloha.